evening, Mr. Morris. Welcome
Good
to
evening,
everybody out there.
Mr. Terblanche, and
How are we
welcome
doing?
to. We are fine. It's strange having. It feels almost like it's been a long absence. It's like when my favorite series end, and then you don't know when the next season is gonna come, and then when it starts, you kind of forgotten everything from the last season. It feels a bit like that.
But it has been a long wait, for Arsenal. What was it, 2 weeks?
2 weeks and a bit because then we had to
Yeah,
wait till a Monday.
yeah. But
And
how weird is this? It's a Monday and we're playing Friday again.
that is a very strange thing. I for a moment there I thought, oh, we must have European football next week. And then I remembered, no, we don't. So I assume whoever we're playing against has an important date coming up next week because I'm pretty sure it's not us.
Yeah, I think we're playing Villa, so I think they are in Europe. I think
Europa.
so. Europa
They're
League,
not
yeah.
Champions League, so they
Yeah,
still
they're
have a
playing
whole week.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway,
But at least after a long wait of football, we then have two games in like the space of 5 days,
yeah.
and that can go both ways. It can be a way to recover from last night because looking at social media, my sense is that a lot of Gooners need to recover
Yeah.
from what happened last night. So
Yeah.
welcome Mitchell and welcome Warren among those people. I'm sure will share their thoughts on on last night, and welcome to you, Quinton, as well.
Hey, so
So, your
let's get to
first
our
thoughts on
my,
on
my
on,
first
on the
thoughts
football last
of
night?
yesterday.
Yeah,
Um, so I missed the first 15 minutes of the game because I was busy doing some work. So I had it on the one screen, but I was so concentrated on work I didn't really pay attention. But from I started watching, we just looked poor. We looked very poor. I don't know how that first 10 minutes went. I'm assuming it went good because we scored. But other than that, poor performance. I can't blame the manager though. I mean, I look at the team he put out. Is no, I really I can't blame Arteta. It's a team I would have put out. There's no
is that
problems with
is that
the
our
side he
is that
selected.
our is that our first 11 now? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that is my personally. That's my first 11. That would be my first 11
Plus
almost
Xhaka, of
every week.
course.
Not even, not even. I, I like that party is there and Smith Rowe and Odegaard plays together. The only thing I'd possibly change is probably put in Laca for Oba, maybe depending on the opposition, but more or less that would be my team. And he made the substitutions early. He brought on Laca. Laca made a difference. He was forced to bring on Sambi Lokonga, which is it's also okay because no problem with that substitution. And he brought on Martinelli, and I think Martinelli tried to do, just didn't have any help. But I really don't blame Arteta. And I mean, the goals was individual errors. I mean, I think Party was the one, and was it Lakonga the other one? Oh no,
Well, there
Tomiyasu
was
was
a
the other one.
tackle on him. There was a
Yeah,
tackle there that may have been a foul. Some people
could have,
would argue.
would have,
Yeah,
should have. But it's Mike
and
Dean.
Warren.
We're not gonna get anything from him. Man.
Yeah, I just want to say Warren is stirring the
What's
emotional pot already because he's asked a couple of guys whether they are trusting the process. People who have clearly said they do not trust the process no longer. Um, so yeah, everybody's a little unhappy with the performance. Some people are arguing Quinton Gitzman says Pepe should be dropped, but I kind of felt that he had 2 assists. Do
yeah,
I give him? Do we give him the assist?
it really wasn't Pepe's worst performance. I mean, he's had some dismal performances, and this wasn't one of them. This wasn't as bad as previous ones. So I still uh, look. We look flat. I mean, if you go back to the Spurs game and this game, it's total different performance. I don't know where that hunger and that
Where
fight.
that performance came from?
Yeah,
What they put in the in the morning porridge?
Yeah, I don't know, but look, you obviously just don't want to just hear my thoughts of it. I can babble on and 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 on.
Well, we
So
never get a chance to babble, so we could babble a bit. But we
we
want
can
to.
babble a
We
little.
have we have guest babblers here today as
Yeah,
well.
we do have guest babblers, yeah. And it is Charl. I think his surname is Visser.
I was
And
about to ask him. I didn't have a chance to
I
ask
think
him.
it's Visser. Charles Rickard, yeah, it's Visser. I can see him, it is Visser. And sorry about that, Charles. And Neil Swartz going to join us in the next couple of seconds. Let me just bring them on here quickly.
Okay.
Press my one button for Charles. Welcome, Charles. And my other
Good
button for
evening,
Neil.
good evening.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Evening, guys.
How are you guys doing this evening?
Not too bad, but disappointed about last night's game. But other than that, we're good.
The sunny day has lifted your spirit. Is that what you're saying, Shaw?
I don't think anything can lift my spirits after last night's performance. It was absolutely dismal. I'm going to have to disagree with you. I haven't seen a worse Pepe performance than that. He was absolutely shocking last night. Absolutely shocking. Every single thing he tried, bar the Aubameyang assist, came off last night. It was an absolutely horrible performance. I think we lacked imagination, creativity, and the performance was flat. Completely flat.
Neil, I need to want to introduce you guys first, but Shaw obviously, Shaw had something that he needed to get off his chest, there, and I fully understand. So Shaw, thank you for you've got us made some notes here. A couple of things I want to raise with you as we go on, but just tell us a little bit about you. This is your first time on the show. So we don't know you that well. Other people may know you. So just tell us a little bit about your relationship with the Gunners. Where it started in the womb, I assume, and it's just kind of grown over the years.
Not quite in the womb, but I don't know if back in the day you remember that extra channel on the Mnet decoder, the CSN channel, when you could go on channel 8. And the first match that I watched was an Arsenal match on there. And we ended up winning that game 2-0. So I basically fell in love from that game. And I've been watching Arsenal ever since. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old at the time. And I'm well into my 30s and fully abused now.
You have suffered deeply. We've
had good moments, but yeah, what can I say?
I'm a little worried because if that had been a Liverpool or a Man United game, you could have been a Liverpool or Man United supporter. Is that what you're saying? Or was there something about the Arsenal game that appealed to you and made you stay?
There was everything about the game. It was attractive, free-flowing football. Basically, everything last night was not. And I mean, we've been absolutely spoiled through the Wenger years, which just kind of solidified that passion for the Gunners. And yeah, I also joined Arsenal Cape Town a few years ago, probably like 10 years ago. So, with Arsenal Cape Town, and then last year, unfortunately, I had to leave Cape Town and came up to London. So I've been here for the last year now.
So you didn't move to East London. You moved to the
North
UK
London. I'm in North London.
Okay. So you get to at least stand outside. Do you go to games, or is it more?
I'm sad to say I was at last night's game, actually.
Because we have got an inside reporter who's going to tell us exactly what happened there.
No, so it really was it was a mixed bag of emotions last night. I mean, we started really well, and I mean, Naseem, the first 10 minutes that you say that you didn't watch is when the atmosphere was absolutely, it was mad. And afterwards, it's almost as if we dropped off. It's like we don't know what to do with the lead, and we back off and we allow pressure to come onto us. And as soon as pressure comes onto us, the mistakes start creeping out. I mean, there was one opportunity where Emil Smith-Rowe could have played in Pepe. If he played that ball in, Pepe makes it 2-0. It's a relaxed atmosphere, and I feel it would have been an easier game. But I mean, we tend to make things a little bit more difficult for ourselves, and then it creates that toxic atmosphere, and I think it feeds onto the players, and it just becomes flat afterwards. So I mean, the crowd kind of adds to that bad performance.
Okay, before we get to Neil, but with that atmosphere, obviously, if you're saying that it feeds onto the players, then partly the fans are to blame for that.
Well, I really think the fans are to blame.
No,
fans out. Hashtag fans out.
Let's not say that, otherwise I'd be walking. But yeah, I mean, there was a point in the game where with the Palace fans, there were two songs that they sang. The one was "You're 1-0 up and you're not even singing." That was the one chant they had, like saying that, I mean, guys, be happy you 1-0 up. And the second one was, shall we sing you a song? Shall we sing you? Because it's so quiet. People are just in disbelief, but I mean, it's also up to the players to kind of inspire the crowd as well. So it's a kind of 50-50 type of relationship that you have there.
It's a symbiotic relationship. And
Exactly.
one partner is the host and the other one is the parasite. You still have to figure that out. I want to speak to just Neil. Yeah, Neil. There's a lot of stuff. Neil, at least we have the safety of the television. We are spared a lot of that immediate pain, and hopefully there's a couple of seconds delay when you're streaming as well. But Neil, before we get to that, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about your relationship with Arsenal and with the Arsenal Cape Town Supporters Club. Oh yes, I just have to. Naseem, we forgot something. Welcome everyone to this Cape Town Armoury, the weekly podcast of the Arsenal Cape Town Official Supporters Club. Thank you. We get paid. If we don't say that.
The thing is, we always get carried away when there's a poor performance. We just want to get into things. When we have a good performance, then it's like, oh, welcome to the Cape Town Armoury.
We have branding to do, people. We have branding to do, sponsors, please. So, Neil, tell us a little bit yourself. Okay, so this is Neil Swartz, who I know lives in the northern suburbs, not the North London suburbs. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Neil.
I've been supporting Arsenal for a number of years now. I'm also one of those guys with that open time, not open time, that the Channel 8.
It was open time. It was called, wasn't it open time?
No, the open time was between 5 and 7 with the sitcoms.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's right, yes. Arsenal weren't that great. They were still boring Arsenal. But what I liked about Arsenal was the way they played, or how they played. They got the job done and they defended. And it was a collective team, a team performance. And so my love for Ian Wright, though. I've joined Arsenal Supporters Club 2012, I think. And I was part of the South African Supporters Club so before that.
Yeah,
so you've had a couple of beers at the pub, but also and a couple of shots when we occasionally scored goals.
Of course, yes.
Okay. Oh, I missed those shots. I just want to say, Warren and Ali, I miss those shots. I do miss those shots. So Neil, I'm going to put you in the difficult position. We've heard Charl there was in the stadium, felt a little embarrassed by the other Arsenal supporters. So I'm going to ask you the difficult question. Was it an entirely dismal performance in the long line of dismal performances? Or was this a gutsy showing by a team who in the end, when their backs were against the rope, somehow found a little chutzpah and rallied and scored a very late equalizer? I cannot recall the last time I screamed out of joy at an Arsenal goal. last night that happened. I thought my neighbors are going to come rushing over, thinking this man has been mauled. So, which of those was it? Another dismal performance, or was there a bit of fight, a little bit of bite in that performance towards the end?
It's a little bit of both. Why do we need to concede or be behind to play? And as Charles said, why must the fans sing only when we're losing? We should have been singing when we were 1-0 up. Get the second goal, instill some confidence in the players, and take it from there. It just bugs me that when we lose, we step it up. I was happy with the team. I was happy with the team formation because I think at home we should play with one holding midfielder and kill the game. When we play away, I don't mind playing two defensive mids, but at home we should take it to any team that comes to the Emirates. And now we're not doing that.
Do
For
you
me
think?
personally, sorry, Pepe, he had an average game. It wasn't that bad, but this has been coming on for some time already. His
So,
performances is not up to standard, especially for his price tag. I
so,
would
do,
like
so
to have
do,
seen.
Should I give
Yes,
him the 2 assists, or is that unfair? Is that a bit too ambitious for me? A little bit too kind of me? Did he get 2 assists or not?
he got the assist. Yes, it was his shot. It was from his play. I'll give it to him definitely. But
Okay.
he tends to fade away. So does the team as well. For me, I would like to see. I would like to have seen Laca up front, Aubameyang wide, and Emil Smith in the mid. I don't think Odegaard and Emil Smith can play together. I would like to see Emil in the middle on his own, with Xhaka on the right and Aubameyang on the left.
but
And then Laka in front.
Yes.
Nazim, you had a question, I think. Was
yeah.
it about?
So
It's about the Swiss, the
no,
Swiss
no, no,
clock,
no,
the
not the
cuckoo
Swiss
clock.
guy. Mitchell is trying to start a war, I think. But
I
it's more. I mean, I look at one person who had very bad games in the last two games, the one against Brighton and the one last night. Odegaard. Odegaard was not up to both games, and could his performance have something to do with the whole team doing bad? I mean, not to say that we only rely on him, but obviously he's that Mesut Ozil type player, creating, finding those gaps, finding those passes. Could a lot be because he wasn't up to it and nobody else stepped up where he couldn't? Um, sure. What's your thoughts on that?
My thought around it is it's the players around. The thing that made I think last night's performance flat for me was there were no runners. There were no available players in those little pockets, tight pockets of spaces. So when you had a player that received the ball, you didn't have someone making himself available. I mean, there were times that, sorry to step away from the Odegaard conversation for a bit, but I mean, there was Tomiyasu that when he tried to clear the ball, he had to boot it out because no one was available. And I mean, our tactic, so to speak, is to play out from the back, but no one's making themselves available. It's almost as if they are afraid to get the ball and receive the ball. And when you have a player like Odegaard and how he plays, he likes to come into those little pockets of space. He wasn't doing that. No one was really doing it last night, and that's what owed to that flat performance. So I don't think picking out Odegaard and using him as a scapegoat really is the key. You are shocking though. Let's not pull away from that. You are shocking.
I just wanted to go through a couple of the comments that people have made in the chat because there's a lot happening there. Nazim, I'm going to ask you. There are a couple I'm particularly interested in, but I'm just going to ask you to share them randomly. And then I
Yeah.
have a question for Neil. Neil, just brace yourself for the question. It's about your one holding midfielder. Okay. So Quentin says, why are we wasting not the pasty. Pasty is what my body looks like. Why are we wasting the pacey Martinelli and not using Tavares as well? A couple more comments there. Nasim, just click randomly and then we can just Okay, a couple. Okay, there we go. Pepe created the first goal and disappeared again, which is he seems to have Harry Potter's vanishing cloak or something like that, which is another, which is a common thing he does. Quinton says, I personally don't believe we as fans get our voice heard by the owners, and we have ourselves to blame, and I think that's the Krinker out argument.
Just remind me, I want to bring up that topic a bit later.
Look, Congo, what's the reason Laca never starts? Royal Cunningham says, what's the reason that Laca never starts? Look at what changes he made when he came on. That's another issue we're going to come back to. And then there's one more that I wanted to say. Here we go. Mitchell Billy says, I'm a Xhaka. Neil, earlier you said you're quite happy with the one holding midfielder.
At home.
At home.
Home
At
games
home
is-
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Partey is, would you, when it comes to who that holding midfield is Partey? Because some people have been a bit critical here about his performance last night and the mistakes that he may have made.
Oh, I hope so because I don't have faith in Xhaka as well. So I don't know. It's just a mess now at the moment. I don't mind taking either unless they perform and they deserve a spot in the
You
team.
don't think
So I don't mind. So
you don't think that
so
we've missed Xhaka over the last two games where we have the midfielders certainly not look up to, I mean, it's not that the bar was set that high, but certainly wasn't the same as in a couple of games like in the Spurs game or anything like that. Are we
no, not at
missing
all. Not at all. Not Xhaka.
not
Not
Xhaka?
for me. No.
Okay. Charl, it looks like you may have a rebuttal to that.
I really disagree with that. Do you know? I think it was last season. Xhaka had the most forward pass stats in the league. He may not be the one that's creating assist or anything, but he starts attacks from the back. I also not his biggest fan, but he does keep the team ticking over. He's got silly mistakes that he makes, but when you had the midfielders that were playing last night, playing side to side football all the time. Xhaka used to play like that, but he's been since Arteta took over at least. He's been playing more forward progressive passes, and it really does tip the team over. So he's one of those that you don't appreciate until he's gone. So yeah, he splits opinion to be
He is very
fair.
inconsistent. He is good on the day, but when he's bad, he's bad.
He's bad when he's bad. Yeah.
I am just
Yeah.
going to say the following. I am a pro Xhaka man. I just have to know. I'm a pro Xhaka man. It's out there. And I think that his role is often so understated.
Mm.
It's not flamboyant. It's not flashy. And I think we don't realize that. But the stats for me speak another story about how our core part of the team is. And I'm not supposed to share my opinion. I am the co-host. My opinion does not matter. My opinion does not count. But I do want to ask, the manager did point out that once we scored that first goal, there was a certain, he seemed upset. He was just rambling in the one interview that I saw with the Arsenal website. And he was very upset that the players were not playing football. They were not attacking. They seemed to, once the goal went in, had no idea, like you guys have said, what to do. There's been a lot of debate on social media, on the Twitter sphere and then the Facebook sphere, as to whether the performance last night is the manager's fault or whether it is the players' fault. Where do you two stand on that? Neil, you want to go first?
I don't know. Last night, it's a tough one though. Arteta's subs were good last night. The team was flat, but it's up to the manager to motivate or to change it up. He was only forced to take off Saka because he got injured. Because after we scored, we were bad, and he could have done something. He could have maybe put Saka on the right and move Pepe on the left because Saka for me is better on the right. So maybe just switch it up, try something because we were flat, very flat in the.
No, I fully agree with Neil over there. I think it's the manager's job to motivate the players. And I mean, you train all week for different situations. And if you're going 1-0 up, if the impetus is to put your foot on the brake after that, instead of taking it to the team again and going 2-0 up, 3-0 up. We should be putting teams like Palace to the sword for real. I mean, no, we've fallen off, but we aren't as bad as the Crystal Palace. We shouldn't be drawing 2-2 at home to a team like Crystal Palace. And for me, that is on the manager, unfortunately.
Okay. Naseem, are we going to be looking? We forgot again. We get carried away, especially after a less than average performance, and we forget to do the basics, to set the context, to give the background to
So
all of this.
I've
So
got,
last night, yeah,
I've got one more question.
okay,
The red card came up. Just
yes.
quick, red or not red, guys in the chat. We obviously the kick on Xhaka that got him not in sent off but got him injured. Red or not? Neil, red card, red. Charl?
Full on red. Changed the game completely. Took our best player off the pitch and keeps theirs on. It's unjust. This VAR is not for Arsenal.
The second incident that led to their first goal, free kick on Party. Yes, no.
No
for me.
No.
Party was put under pressure though, and it was a silly pass to him. Was it the line out? Yes.
Yeah, it was from a line out. Okay, no, yeah, definitely red card. I think Ian Wright and who was with him in the studio with Ian Wright, I can't remember, but yeah, they both also said definitely red. I think Ian Wright was quite upset about it. Morgan, yeah, we can now move over to the results.
Okay. So in case you guys out there didn't know what we were talking about, it was Arsenal's 2-2 draw at home at the Emirates to Crystal Palace last night. But just a little going over through some of the results. I'm not sure what your guys' thoughts are on the result. I'm going to not mention the Leeds result because I'm a little worried over there. But it started off with a goal fest. Liverpool beat Watford 5-0. Couple of draws. Aston Villa, who's been, one of the, especially since they have a certain goalkeeper there in the team at least. I wasn't sure if he was playing. Lost to some late goals to Wolves. Leicester City upset. Well, I don't know if it's upset Man United, but certainly by their positions, Man United should have done better. Certainly, if it wasn't for Leicester City's performance, I would have had no fantasy league points this weekend. Man City going back, hitting their groove again, sort of. Chelsea again looking consistent. Brentford has been doing surprisingly well. Maybe beating Arsenal gave them all the confidence they need. Everton up and down. West Ham, managed to get the point there. Spurs, our hated enemy, managed a 3-2 away win. So that there's some interesting implications for the table. Do you want to just show the table there quickly? There we go. You won't see the Arsenal name there. But up to recently, we were, if you look at the form, we were kind of the form team at least. Wolves has now taken over that mantle. But top three team, pretty much is expected. But then we've got the Brightons up there in contention. Brentford still in the top half. Wolves managed to sneak into the top half as well. So I'm not sure how long this is going to last, but we seem to have some sort of patterns forming. And then Arsenal dropping from 11th to 12th. We were top of the bottom half of the log. Still have done decently. We haven't lost for a while. One win and two draws of our last three games. So Crystal Palace have had, I think it's now 5 draws in succession. I don't want to, if these draws have come in succession, but poor Patrick Vieira was denied 3 points right there at the end. Leeds in trouble, and Norwich City, Newcastle, and Burnley, probably the teams most likely to go down if things keep up this way. Okay, so this is what I want to ask you. I want to look at the Arsenal form table. We haven't done too badly over the last all 5 competitions, 3 wins and 2 draws. And if we go to our league performance, 3 wins and 2 draws as well. So a couple of shows ago, we asked people, would they at this stage? We asked them for 6 games for some reason, but you two panelists at this stage, 11 points out of 15 so far. How happy are you considering our start? Neil, your thoughts?
I'm somewhat happy. I think we needed results against Brighton and Palace. A win, not a draw, because we're not playing European football. I mean, we had a nice rest for this game, and we played like we didn't even train. You know what I mean? Those are the games that you need to beat to even compete in the top 6 now, let alone top 4. We've got the benefit of not playing Europa or any European football, and we're still struggling though, or not convincing.
Okay, Charl, 11 out of 15. Do you think it should have been 15 as well, or is that being us being a little ambitious and greedy?
Based on our form, I'd say it is us being a bit ambitious. I mean, the 3 games that we won were against 3 really small teams: Norwich, Burnley, and Spurs. So, I mean, we're always going to win those 3.
We saw that. We heard that, Charl. I want you to know we heard that.
I mean, the form that Brighton are in at the moment, I think a point away was a good point. But I think last night was the disappointing one. So I'd expected about 13 out of 15 for that one.
Okay, where are we going to? We've got okay.
Oh no, we don't do that.
We don't have to do that. There we go.
No. I need to go back here. Okay. What was this? This was our next fixtures.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Whether we'd have 14 out of 18 by the end of Okay.
Okay, the fun part of the show. Let me just get this thing working. I struggle every week to get this thing working.
Well, you try to get that working. I just want
it's working. It's working.
Okay, there we go. I was going to share a couple of comments. Warren again stirring the emotional pot there. So performance sucked through those wins. And there was an earlier, what I consider perhaps a sarcastic comment, Warren, about trusting the process. So yeah.
I think it was Gareth. Here's it.
Oh, there. Oh, Gareth, my apologies. It's become interchangeable.
Okay, let's get to this. So, Charl, Neil, you don't really have to give reasons for your score. You can just give your score, and then guys in the chat, not before the time, only when I say the player's name do you type in. Otherwise, I'm not going to take your score. So we basically take for the chat, we take the first person that comments. Okay, so let's go. Starting with Ramsdale. Charl.
I'll go
I think you must just remove that that comment there. Otherwise, we can't see the table.
Okay, I will take it away, and there we go. Ramsdale.
6.
Neil.
I'll actually give him a 7 now.
7. People in the chat, Ramsdale. Rating out of 10. 3 seconds, otherwise I'm going to take my score.
He's been a favorite of the fans for a while. There we go. 5 as the goals. Okay.
We got a 5. 5. Good Matters was first with a 5. Okay.
Tommy Yasu. But harsh.
I like Tommy Yasu last night. I'll give him a 7.
7. Neil.
I'll give him a 5. He didn't have a good game last night.
Chat, Tommy Yasu. Oh, guys, just try to put the player's name there, because Wayne is out for Tommy Yasu.
Warren is 6. The first one. Okay, Warren says it's a 5. He was the first I saw there. Okay.
White.
Ben White. Shaw.
Shocking. 4.
Neil.
I'll give him a 5 as well. He backed off with that second goal, like Mustafi. Anyway.
And Gareth gave White a 4. Tierney,
4.
Ooh.
4. Neil,
5.
Ooh.
Jack, Tierney,
Have we lost faith in TNA? There are a couple of people who are saying he should be rested. Woo!
3. Ooh. Gabriel,
Yeah.
Tough one. I'll give him a 5.
5. Neil for Gabriel.
5 as well.
Guys, I
And
just
our-
have to remind you that we didn't lose the game, actually.
Gabby 6. Okay. Thomas Partey.
I'm going to be kind. 4.
Oh,
4. Okay.
Also 5. 5. He wasn't great, isn't it?
And Party, we got a 4 for Party in the chat. Pepe.
Is it
Everybody's
possible to
favorite.
give a minus here? If I can't give a minus, I'm going to have to go for the lowest and give him a 1.
0 was the lowest.
Oh, 0. Then it's 0, please.
For
Charl,
Pepe.
come on.
It was a, you know what? Let's give him a 2. Let's give him a 2 per assist, apparently.
I still, you obviously didn't have the final touch in the second goal, but I was very impressed that he ran back from the corner, which went nowhere. He ran back and got that ball in quickly, which I still think is worth a couple of points.
You know what I like about, what I feel bad for about Pepe is that if you look at when he gets a consistent run of games, he's really comes good. If you look at him at the back end of last season, he was scoring freely. Then all of a sudden, he just gets taken out to the team. And I mean, it's very difficult for a player to come back in and then just hit the ground running. So, like, I sympathize with him, but unfortunately, you are paid millions, my friend. He doesn't even care about my silly 2.
Neil, your thoughts?
I'll
on
give him a
Pepe?
4. A 4.
Okay.
2
Odegaard.
points per assist. 2 points per assist.
Odegaard, chat, Neil, Charl.
Oh.
4.
4.
4.
And we got a 0 in the chat for Odegaard. Neil
I'll give him a 3.
and Smith Rowe.
I liked his play last night. I'll give him a 6.
6.
He
Neil?
was running a lot.
I'll give him a 7.
Okay.
First one for Emil Smith Rowe was Gareth with a 7. Okay, Xhaka. Although he just played 45 minutes.
Yeah, look, I can't remember how we played, whatever. All I know is that as a team, we played a lot better with him there. So I'm judging it as how the team were playing with this one. So I'm going for 7 here.
Neil?
I'll give him a 6.
6. And the chat was Gareth with a 5. Okay, our captain. Romeo.
What was the
6.
man likely to score if given the chance?
Martinelli, but we'll give Aubameyang a 6.
6 as well. 6 as well.
6 as well. And Gareth gave over a 8. Yeah, well done. Martinelli.
I think he was really good when he came on. He and Laca changed the game completely. I'll give him a 7.
I'll give him a 6 as well.
That for Martinelli is 6.
I saw Gareth, yeah.
And Laconga, he had 45 minutes to play.
45 minutes, I wish he didn't. Give him a 5.
That's 45 minutes you're not getting back, Charl? Is that
Laconga, we got a 4 from Kuna Matters and Neil.
Also 4 as well.
Lacazette,
Best player on the pitch. 8.
8.
I'll give him a 8 as well.
At Laca, 8. Nice. And lastly, the manager.
He and Pepe, same WhatsApp group too.
That neighborhood watch group is not doing well.
I'll give him a 4.
Oh, and Mikel Arteta gets a 3 from the chat. So, according to us, I don't know who was the official man of the match yesterday, but Lacazette is our man of the match on the show. And it's the first time in 3 weeks that Ramsdale has not won it.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, guys.
They were talking about him last night that he spent much of his pre-Arsenal career just getting the ball out of the net, but he really seems to have kind of found fans in the Arsenal fans. Why do you guys think that is? Charl?
Well, the thing is
that he isn't Leno?
No, it's not that. Really, for it looks like when he has a mistake, he brushes it off. I know there was one where he dropped the ball in the Brighton game. He still came out with the man of the match performance. And I mean, it's like water off the guy's back, and he just breathes confidence, comes, catches the ball. He just does the simple things really well. Playing out from the back, he's picking the right passes when he does it. And he makes stop draw saves. So simple things. And I mean, last night's goals weren't any fault of his own. I mean, I think the second goal was a really good shot. The first one was woeful defending, and I mean Ramsdale is made a huge improvement to the Arsenal defense.
I agree with him. He made a brilliant save also before halftime. His volley.
Yes.
Is there anything about his distribution that sets him above his predecessor?
Much better.
I mean, it's the short passes, it's the long kicks. I can't remember watching an Arsenal keeper get as many long kicks to our players as Ramsdale has been doing over these last few weeks. So, I mean, that's really nice to see.
Are you saying that could be the manager's allowing him to do that?
I'm not a fan of giving Arteta credit, so I'm joking. I'm not
thinking that the last guy persisted with the little passes out of the box, which often got him into trouble. I'm just wondering whether Ramsdale has a bit of a longer leash.
I don't know if it's to do with Arteta. I think it's common sense, really. Like when players are kind of coming down on you, it's best to clear the ball rather than to do the short pass. And I mean, he's been doing the simple things well, and I think that's what you should do as a professional: simple things well, and then you do the excellent things. So that's where he's getting it right.
No, there's certainly nothing about his career before Arsenal that suggested that he would be what I still think a very confident goalkeeper. The commentator certainly thinks that the teams he played for certainly didn't allow him that. Okay, so now we're gonna take the temperature down there. This is when you play some smooth, sexy jazz. We're just gonna take the edge of the discussion. And looking ahead at the game against Aston Villa on Friday, we've got a couple of questions, a little quiz, which is more for fun than actual winnings. Warren did say that he'll make a plan, but yeah, so shall we go into the quiz? I can't get the drum roll right. Ain't got no rhythm. Okay. So this question is for the two of you. It helps if you have a pen and paper, but otherwise we'll do without. So here we go. Arsenal haven't beaten Aston Villa in the Premier League since 22 September 2019, with Villa winning all 3 league games since then. But in that game on 22 September 2019, who scored the 84th minute winner for Arsenal, which happened to be the last time that Arsenal played Villa against under Unai Emery? I don't know why I threw the Unai Emery in there. I thought it was just to, again, cause some absolute nonsense here.
Can we just shout out the answer?
Well, you can. We don't have. There isn't a buzzer. You can either
Okay.
time. So it's either A, Nicolas Pepe, B, Alexander Lacazette, or C,
It
Pierre?
was
Yeah.
C.
So
Aubameyang with that free kick, I remember.
Yeah,
See,
3-2, eh?
Yeah.
okay.
let's have a look.
Warren says it's okay. You guys have a better memory than I do. Are you guys sincerely telling me you didn't study for this quiz? You
No,
actually
Nick.
just remember that. I am old. I am clearly old because I can't remember that. Okay, question number 2. I just want to say that Warren, whose memory is usually about Arsenal matters, is usually flawless, got it so wrong, and he said A. Okay, so here we go. Question number 2. Arsenal first played Aston Villa way back in 1904, but it was only on 15 May 2016 that Arsenal completed a run of 5 consecutive league wins over Villa, winning 4-0 at the Emirates Stadium. Who scored a hat trick for the Arsenal in that game? Was it A, Alexis Sanchez, B, Olivier Giroud, or C, Santi Cazorla? Let's
B.
see how good you guys are at remembering this.
I'm also
That's
going with
B.
B.
And again, what's the reason for your thinking?
Mine's a
Did you
guess.
remember?
Mine's a guess.
Guys in the chat, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to Google the
A
answer.
lot of B's there, and the answer is
The answer is Olivier Giroud.
not surprisingly it's B.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to get you. I want you to remember this. I want you guys to remember this. Arsenal have now lost 3 consecutive league matches against Aston Villa, but their longest losing league streak against the Lions actually spanned 1912 to 1922. How many games did Arsenal lose to Villa over that run? And remember, it's 10 years, but there was a world war and a deadly flu pandemic in there as well. So was it A7, B12, or C18?
This is going to be a guess for me, though.
Are you saying you can't remember that far back?
I'm just worried that it happened in the pandemic, and we are in the pandemic now. So are we going to lose on Friday? I'm going to just say B as well. I'm going to say B.
Okay,
I
we've
really
got
don't know.
one B. Charl, what?
I'm gonna hope it's A. That's the lowest amount.
Okay, so I just want to see. Warren says A is 7
A.
as well.
Matters
Guna
18.
Matters says C, it's 18. The answer happens to be 7.
Well done, sure. 100%.
Okay. But we lost 7 consecutive league games against Aston Villa. We 3 in now, so we can only hope that we won't have another repeat of that. Okay.
So on to the Villa game. I mean, Shaw, what's your hopes? What I mean, how do you see us approaching this one?
My hopes are 3 points. I really hope that there's a performance to go along with it. But I think, as often is the case, when we come away with a point or a loss, we always seem to go into the next game like on the back foot, really, like again nervous in the attack. But I hope we come out of the blocks and we run hard and we play. And I'm hoping that Lacazette earns from based on last night's performance, he earns a start. And I think with Lacazette up front and the right formation, because currently what I think is happening is I think Arteta found his perfect system with in the game against Spurs, but then he took Xhaka out and he just tried to replace him with whoever, but it doesn't work the same way. So anyway, I'm just hoping that we can get on the front foot, attack, and know that we are at home and get the 3 points. I mean that's all that really matters. I don't care how it comes. To be honest, when the final whistle blows, I'd rather take 3 points over a fine performance. But I do hope to see some attractive football, and I do think we'll win.
Neil, someone has pointed out here, Paul Mark Peterson has said that Villa without Grealish are poor. They do sit above us on the table at the moment. And do you think that the Martinez factor would be an issue at all come Friday?
No, not at all. But you never know what Arsenal might turn up. You know, I'll stick with the formation. I will put Laca on. I'm sorry, Aubameyang on the wing. What's happening with Xhaka? I didn't check the news. Will he be fine for Friday?
We don't know yet. I didn't check anything.
Yeah, so I'll put Xhaka on the right, Aubameyang on the left, and Laca up front, and I'll let Emil run the show in that center. Partey at the back, and the same defense with Ramsdale. And I'm just hoping that we actually take this game at the scruff of the neck and win by a couple of goals.
Okay. Now, normally, I just want to point out, I normally go to the fantasy league site to find out what's happening with players' injuries. They seem to have a special channel there, communication. But I see this number is quite common, and they say that he's had a knock, and there's a 75% chance of him playing. But they say that about everybody who's got a bit of an injury. 75%. So I don't know.
Nothing on the website about Xhaka. So
I'll give Martin Elliott a run as well.
Yeah. So the other piece I wanted to talk about, and I know we're a bit late to it but we never had a show in between, was we obviously all know that Newcastle got some sugar daddies. And I'm all for sugar daddies.
Now, Arsenal fans were green with envy. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I was because we know I don't know if you guys know there is some is it Kuwaiti guy, the brother of the guy that owns PSG. So his brother said he was going to put in a bid for Arsenal before the year's over. The year is almost over. I'm still waiting for his bid. And these people are worth more than even Newcastle's owners. So I think Newcastle's owners are at about 280? Is it 280 billion or million? And the guy that wants to buy Arsenal, forget Daniel. He's in another WhatsApp group. But these people are like $360 billion worth. So
how do they pay their bills every month? I wonder.
So I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on a sugar daddy takeover like that? Seeing that Newcastle's done it, it'll probably. I'm hoping that it pushes the guys that wants to buy Arsenal, pushes them to put their offer on the table.
But then does recruitment change entirely?
I'd assume so.
We'd assume so, but the team that's actually going out and looking for these players and the coaching staff that's putting the tactics in place to play. I mean, I know what Arteta's tactics are going to be. He's going to put whoever on the field and just say go play. But unfortunately, football doesn't work like that.
The way I see it, how these guys would work, the same like with Newcastle. It's not like they come there day one and they'll fire the manager. They will come there, see how things are done, see what is wrong, and then slowly but quickly change things. And with Newcastle, yes, Warren, I know this is an Arsenal show, but with Newcastle, the way I see it is Steve Bruce is going to get fired soon, within the next couple of weeks. He's a goner. And they're going to bring in a big name because they can afford it. And they can't do anything now till January. And then they're going to use January where you can't really get a lot of players. So they'll see what they can get in January. But come next summer, they're going to splash the cash and get rid of a lot of players. And that's the way I see how this it's not going to all happen. They sign the papers the Friday, the Monday, everything changes. It's you have to give it at least 6 to 9 months, and then you'll see the changes come.
Yeah, I've always been someone that I took pride in how Arsenal was run, and I always like saying.
Charl, are you coming up? Are you going to come out as a Wengerian here?
Oh, I'm a massive Wengerian.
Oh, we are out of fashion, man. We are out of fashion.
I know.
So, Charl, unfortunately, I also love that because the people on the board then, yes, they were old, they were dinosaurs, they needed to hand things over to the kids, which we were hoping the kids were Arsenal fans. I loved that.
But we're falling behind now.
But the way football is run, you can't do it that way.
No, I get
you
it.
can't
I get
be
it.
self-sustaining like that.
No,
You wouldn't mind being a club of the ilk of the Man Cities and the Chelseas. It doesn't matter where the money comes from, as long as we win. You would be happy with that?
No, not really, but times has changed though, and you have to keep up with the times. So other teams are doing it. I'm sure most teams are going to do it in the near future as well. So I don't know. It's still not right. It's still not right in my opinion.
But you would do it. But you would do it. I understand fully. I would not take a bribe until the money's in my bank account.
I actually just want to extend this to the chat also. For Sugar Daddy, yay or nay? Just let us know. Give a yes or a no for Sugar Daddy. Should Arsenal go that route? Should somebody put a stupid offer to the Cronkies that they can't refuse? Give them the Godfather offer and they take it. Would you be happy? Yes or no?
I just want to point out here something that Paul Mark Peterson has corrected me. Again, Paul Mark, I'm an old man. I can't remember a table that I saw 3 minutes ago, but you are correct. Villa are actually 1 point behind us on the table at the moment.
Let's go back.
There was another comment. Andre made an interesting comment. They said Aston Villa is a wounded animal after losing against Wolves, being 2-0 up at one stage. They've got strikers who will score given half the chance, like Crystal Palace. I dread Friday's match. Now, there's something that will Charl, do you have tickets for Friday's game?
No, I don't.
You're going to watch this from the safety of your television.
Safety of my couch with a nice beer in my hand, and that's going to be me.
Okay. Welcome to our world.
So, yes, Morgan, Villa are 1 point behind us.
Yes.
No.
I checked that.
They are a total different team without Grealish. Grealish really made Villa tick. And without him there, I think what's that the guy from Norwich that they took that we were also looking for, Pendua, he's not really cutting it, eh? Either that or not. I remember him being injured for a bit. I don't know if he's still injured, but yeah, he just wasn't making a difference yet.
I just want to point out that they have scored 5 more goals in us this season, and again, that's a Morgan mistake there. We haven't conceded 23 goals this season. It is 13, I think. So again, my oopsie there with we've conceded 12 goals. We've conceded the same number, but they've also scored 12 goals compared to our 7. So they certainly can score goals. They can certainly score more goals than we can at the stage.
Okay, the last part of our show before we say our goodbyes is the Predictor game. Obviously, I run through this quickly. Guys, for the fun of it, you can put your scores in the chat for your prediction for the Arsenal-Villa game. But remember, you have to go to our website and just put your prediction there. I'm putting the little scrolly at the bottom. So check out the website. If you haven't registered now. It's easy to catch up, even although you've missed out a few games. Rules: 7 points for the exact score, 4 points for the correct results with the correct goal difference. So how that works: if you say Arsenal is going to win 1-0, but they win 2-1, you get 4 points for that, 2 points for the correct result, and 0 points for the incorrect result. From that, prizes at the end of the season, I wish it was 5,000 Rand, but we can't afford that right now. Hopefully, as the seasons go along, we can add a couple of zeros to these prizes, but 500 Rand for first place, 300 Rand for second place, 200 Rand for third place. And then what does the table look? We still have Colleen Colin, I checked Colin's score. Colin got it wrong. I think Colin said 3-1, if I remember. She used to be our queen.
She got 4 goals, right? She got 4 goals right.
Yeah. Yeah, she got 4 goals right. But yeah. Alex, I don't know where Alex came from. Alex just popped out of nowhere and just poof, there. Morgan, he's still up there.
I will just have to point out to people that I think I've played like once. You
Yeah.
guys do not want me to play this game. That's the only. Once I start, you know I'm gonna win.
But yeah, that's how our predictor game rankings look at the moment. So guys, if you haven't registered, have a look at it. Put your scores up. It's awesome fun. You can also obviously check what everybody else has predicted. So now it comes down to Neil and Charl to tell us their predictions for Friday night. We can start with Neil.
You can change your mind on the site. The moment you hit the site, you can change your mind again.
Yeah, you can change your mind. Yeah, that also the prediction only locks 15 minutes before kickoff. So if kickoff's at 9 o'clock, prediction will lock at 8:45.
I just registered now for the first time, so I'll definitely keep on playing. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Friday.
Hey man, that's a happy face.
If we played like we played last night, I don't know. I'll say 2-1.
2-1. 2-1 seems pretty
To
popular
Arsenal.
in the chat. Charl,
That's the
your
same
thoughts?
scores that Warren has
I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 to the Arsenal.
2-0 to the Arsenal. Morgan, what's on your mind?
Alex used to be the 2-0 guy. See, he's become the 1-0 guy.
Yeah,
this
you
season,
became a 1-0.
and that always pushes me higher because I have to go with higher. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna join Colin and say 3-1. That was
3-1.
That
was a previous prediction though, yeah.
I know, no. I'm gonna go with I think a 3-1 eventually. She just got the crystal ball wrong. Looked at the wrong game. I'm confident it was this game. And it's partly because I think that Laca has now at least he's got to be playing on on Friday night.
Friday.
And I think that with him there, he'll score once and Aubameyang will score twice. I still think Aubameyang is the guy most likely to score. So yeah. If Lacazette doesn't play, can I change my prediction? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you can.
He doesn't play.
Remember, you at least. I think that the team sheets always come an hour before the game, so you have time. Ian, love that positivity. I don't see it happening though, but I love that positivity.
I'm assuming that Ian had a cold beer. It was a very hot day and he had a couple of cold beers this evening with supper. So yeah.
I'm leaning very much to Alex's score of 1-0. I just can't see where goals are coming from. I can't see us scoring a lot of goals. Not at this stage, unless something drastically happens over the next 3 days. But yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal, and that's what I think.
Hey, we scored 2 goals last night. I just have to remind people, we scored twice. 2 goals. We don't often score 2 goals. We scored twice.
Okay. Guys, with that, I want to say my goodbyes and thank you to Charl and Neil for joining us. We'll definitely have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, guys.
Guys in the chat, thanks. It's always awesome reading the comments. And we will have a show next Monday. And I've got some sad news that I will be here without Morgan for the next couple of weeks.
I'm
Morgan,
sure there are a couple of co's, a couple of guys more than willing to step into the hot seat. I just have a couple of film things I have to take care of over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I will have to think of football without venting about it.
Yeah, but I hope you're going to still be in the comments though. I mean, you have to be there.
We have to see. I may still be in the comments, see if I can't throw in a couple of trust the processes in there.
Awesome. Sorry, Alex, are you going to the game on Friday? You can answer me. You can answer in the chat.
I think that indicates that he will
Yeah.
be at the game on Friday. Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, thanks a lot. Morgan, we'll see you in a couple of weeks or months, or I don't know how long it takes to create a Emmy Award winning documentary.
And I'm working on 3 at the moment. Oh, that's
You're working
2
on
fingers.
3.
But
Yeah.
it needs.
Yeah, my casting interview is tomorrow, right?
Yes,
7
yes.
o'clock. 7 o'clock.
As with all Hollywood producers, it's a casting couch.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be things may take a turn for the worse.
Awesome. Guys, thanks a lot. Morgan, always a pleasure doing the show with you. Going to miss you, and I'm going to make sure you do come back and don't disappear off the face of the earth. So, Charl, Neil, thanks again. Everybody else,
Thank you.
Thank you,
have a good
guys.
evening,
Yes,
and we'll
cheers,
see you next
guys.
week.
Sure. Bye.